All right, welcome back everybody to a brand new video here on the second channel, and today we're going to be looking at the first weekend of online tournament results in the Mega Evolution format. Of course, Mega Evolution has been out since Thursday, so we've had a weekend now to kind of see what people are bringing and playing to these tournaments here, and we get an idea as to what is doing good. So I'm excited to take a look here at the results, because any new cards, any new decks, new innovations, all that stuff, it's really cool to highlight and track what's going on, especially as we have Milwaukee Regionals coming up in 2 weeks. So, the results from this tournament is going to impact Milwaukee's results for sure, because it's important to see what does well in these tournaments, because maybe people are looking to bring these decks to Milwaukee, and this could definitely impact the results going forward at those tournaments. This might be a bit of a shorter format, I think, before we get Phantasmal Flames, but I'm still excited to look at the results nonetheless. If y'all are new here to the second channel, make sure to subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate it, as always, here on the second channel. I'll leave a link to Play.limits down below if you want to go check out the results for yourself. Starting off, we got the Sunny's weekly tournament here, which was won by Goldengo. So I think out of all of the decks that got a buff with this set, once again, Goldengo looks like it just got even better. In fact, this Goldengo Zoroark deck has been the way that the deck has been getting a lot of hype. There was a full grip tournament this past weekend, and I think Goldengo also did really good at that tournament. So this deck has been getting a lot of hype. I've been seeing this deck a lot on Twitter and in these online tourneys. So this deck clearly is looking like it's going to be a new top way to play Dengo. I mean, Dengo is already a pretty good deck with like Togekiss and Revavroom and stuff like that, but now it's like the Zoroark Lunatone build might just be the correct way to play it, because you can make a one-prize board state with Zoroark and Lunatone and Gimmighoul. You have extra draw with Lunatone, and you have another really decent little attacker in the early game with Zoroark. This deck reminds me about a little bit of the Fan Rotom Revavroom build that was kind of aiming to do something similar, where you'd attack with Fan Rotom turn 1 in the similar vein as you would attack with Zoroark turn 1. Now, is this build better than the Fan Rotom build? Because technically the Fan Rotom build lets you play more with your plays, because you don't have to rely as heavily on the rocks. You also get to play Revavroom, which is a little bit stronger against other Iono decks, because you get to play Lavincia, where this deck doesn't play Lavincia. That's my main issue with the Zoroark Lunatone build so far. It doesn't have access to Lavincia, so you're a little bit more susceptible to Iono. But this deck is still pretty strong though, and definitely is a top contender going into this format, I think, for sure. He's also been playing Precious Trolley. In second place, we had Sarah Ledge, another benefactor of the Zoroark Lunatone engine here. Sarah Ledge is a deck that wants to go fast. It's like Goldengo in a similar-ish vein. It's similar to Goldengo. It's Stage 1 beat stick Pokemon. This deck does gain the rocks, which allow you to get energy in the discard even faster for Sarah Ledge's attack. This deck is pretty scary, in my opinion, when it gets going. It's pretty hard to stop, because they just kind of cycle through so many cards, they burn so many energies, and a lot of the time this deck will be doing big damage really quickly. I did lose to Dengo, though, which is interesting. I would assume Dengo is favorite, but now they have the rocks in the deck. It's a bit harder. We've got a couple Guardies here in top 4. Gardevoir's not going anywhere. In fact, it did get a bit more of a buff. We got a brand new Ralts, a brand new Kirlia, and a Lily's Determination, which is actually really good in the deck. Lily's Determination is very powerful in here. It gives you a lot better early game draw. It doesn't discard energy, though, with research and stuff, so that's the downside about Lily, but Lily is still really good in Guardy, because it lets you draw more cards early on and see more stuff. This build is playing Fluttermane and Devo, which I'm assuming is good to have against Dengo. If Dengo's playing Picnic Basket, it's a little bit harder. Another Guardian top 4. This one plays Drifloon and Klefki. The Klefki could be sneaky against the rocks to shut off the Lunatone, and then you have one Lily in the deck here, and then it's got the new Mystery Garden. Not all Guardian lists are going to play Mystery Garden, but it's a decent little upgrade to the deck, because it lets you draw more cards, I guess. But in some regards, Artisan is a little bit of a better card, but I can see the vision. We had a Gardevoir Jelly in top 8. Once again, playing Lily, Kirlia, Ralts. It's got the Mystery Garden in there. The Mystery Garden definitely could be good in the Jellison build to give the deck a little bit more consistency, because the Jelly build does lose a little bit of consistency, because you're adding this jelly into the deck. You got the Air Balloon in there too to try to get Torrent Frillish. His deck is still decent though, and I don't think the Jellison build of Guardy is going away anytime soon. Could still be the best way to play it. A couple more Sarah Ledge in top 8. I mean, this entire top 8 was Sarah Ledge, Goldengo, and Jellison, which is crazy. This build has a Deli Burden, and what does this do? If you go first, search your deck for a card, put in your hand. Burrow can attack. Then we had another Sarah Ledge in top 8 here. Same thing, just playing the rocks and stuff. This one doesn't play an Ace Spec, though. Yeah, I don't see an Ace Spec in this build. The heck? an ace-specless Ceruledge deck. Interesting. And then we had another Guardy Jelly in top 8 here. This one did have a Mega Gardevoir in it, so opting to add a little bit more firepower in the deck. Plays 4 Lily, no research, so no way to discard energy, but just still have the Jelly in there. It's got the Mega Guardy, like I said, the Curly and stuff, so it's a pretty solid Guardy list there. So yeah, Guardy's still looking pretty good in this format with the Jellicent and stuff. And yeah, just a lot of Ceruledge and Goldengo, just rock decks and Gardevoir made up the entirety of that top 8. This one here was won by Poltnor. It's just interesting to see where Poltnor goes because of Psyduck. We haven't seen Psyduck yet, though, in that first tournament. Maybe people aren't playing Psyduck. This one's got 4 Lily. Lily is a big upgrade to Dragapult because you can just sit there and item lock your opponent, draw a bunch of cards with Dracloak and Lily, and just kind of see so many cards really easily. And this one does have a couple candies to try to aggressively use Dusknoir. It's got the monkey in there, stuff like that. Was able to beat Garchomp in the finals. I think Garchomp's really cool right now. This definitely gets a big upgrade with the new set. I did a video on Garchomp today, actually on the main channel. So if you want to see some gameplay with Garchomp, I recommend check out my main channel's latest video. I like it. Garchomp's got the 3/3 Rose Rate, a bit heavier on the Rose Rate, a couple premium power pros. Got the new Force Vitality with the Toedscruel, so trying to lean more into like your grass partners to get them out quicker. And the Toedscruel is obviously really good against Goldengo to shut them off from being able to use Retrieval. And then they got the Watchtower in there to help against Terra decks. I think Garchomp, honestly, is a pretty solid deck right now. It did get a lot better. It's actually a pretty good deck now. Will it actually convert to good results? I don't know, but I do like Garchomp quite a bit. I think it is a lot more powerful. It's a pretty solid play in our format at the moment. It might be better than Lucario because Garchomp is technically, it's kind of in the similar vein. You're just this big beat stick fighting Pokemon, whereas Garchomp is a 2-prizer with technically more HP, where Mega Lucario is also then weak to Psychic. So, I don't know. It seems like Garchomp's just a better Lucario deck. We got another Goldengo Rocks deck here in the top 4. This one's got some interesting inclusions. Eerie and Lana's Aid and a Cramorant. So the Cramorant I've been seeing in the deck just as a way to like deal with Cornerstone. It's a nice 1-prize attacker. Like they've all been just cutting the Baby Goldengo. Like Baby Dengo has been seen 0 play within the Solrock Lunatone build of Goldengo. But this one has an Eerie in it. Probably good in the mirror match to ditch Retrieval, obviously. And then you got the Lana's Aid in there, which can be good against Toedscruel. A couple Ciphers. Trolley still being in the ace spec in this deck to set up your rocks and stuff, which is interesting. We have a Crustle deck in the top 4 here. Crustle Thorns, to be exact. So trying to shut off your opponent's abilities with Thorns while still having the annoying walls and the Crustle and the Cornerstone Ogre Pawn. It's got all the different energy types there. It's got the Poke Vital A as the spec. Might be seeing more Crustle, because Crustle doesn't even seem bad right now. Crustle should beat Goldengo, too, even with the rocks. Another Guardy Jelly here. It's got the 4 Lily's Determination, the new Curly and the new Rolls. Nothing too crazy there. But yeah, Guardy Jelly's still looking good. Jellicent does help a lot against Goldengo, and Goldengo seems pretty good right now. We have a Ceruledge in top 8 once again. This deck does look pretty real. We're seeing a lot of them in these tournaments here, so Ceruledge stocks are way up. Could actually be a very legit and viable deck now in our current format. Someone opted to play Legacy. I don't think we've seen a Brilliant Blender yet in Ceruledge, which is interesting. We had a Charizard deck in the top 8. See, I really like Charizard right now. I think Charizard actually got a big boost with this new set, because now you got Lily's Determination, which gives you a little bit more consistency in setting up, gives you a better draw supporter to work with in general. You get Psyduck, so now you can maybe have a better matchup into Dragapult, and you get the double monkey in the deck to help even more against Phantom Dive. I'm a big fan of Charizard right now. I think Charizard is a really strong deck. I think you have a great time in a Goldengo because you just naturally have stuff like Chiyu. You can also play the Dusknoir variant of the deck if you want to still take a better Dengo matchup. You use the Dusknoirs to knock out stuff and use Briar, which I think is still pretty good. But yeah, Charizard does seem like a pretty solid deck right now in our current format. So we'll see if there's any more Charizard decks going around right now. We had one last Garchomp here in the top 8. This one had a Cornerstone in it, as opposed to Toedscruel to tech for the Dengo matchup. And I guess like the Cornerstone you can use with Premium Power Pro. It's interesting. You got the Crispin in there to build it up. It's got the Monkey in there. I still like Monkey and Garchomp. Just giving you a bit of healing is nice. I mean, again, you're making these 400 HP Garchomps. Why not have a little bit of healing to go along with it? No one's really playing like Jammer or Scrapper right now, so it makes sense to have all that in the deck. That was top 8 in that tournament. We can move on. Here we got the Muji's Dojo tournament, which the finals was between 2 Zoroark decks. We had a Zoroark Crustle in the finals here. Now, this deck looks really cool. I've seen it before, where the idea is you are a Crustle deck, but instead of relying on like Cornerstone and stuff, you have Zoroark in the deck as a backup engine. Because Crustle's a deck that can beat a lot of decks, but it loses to Gardevoir, like loses hard to Gardevoir. So as a way to remedy that, you can play a Zoroark deck instead to try to beat your Guardy matchup. So that's basically the idea behind the Zoroark Crustle deck, is you use Zoroark as a way to beat Gardevoir. I mean, seems decent. It won the tournament. In fact, it beat a Zoroark deck in the finals, which is pretty crazy. It beat the Zoroark Cornerstone deck in the finals with the Zoroark Mechanicians. Yeah, Zoroark, like, as itself, I think is actually a lot better right now because, like, stuff like the new Yveltal is really good for the deck. Gives you a new trap attacker. You can lean more into the Cornerstone. Like, Gardevoir is not going anywhere. If anything, Guardy is still going to be just as good as ever. So, like, there's really no reason not to play Zoroark if you're a fan of playing this deck. Like, Zoroark seems like it's a very strong deck right now. It's really just what build you want to play. Like, do you want to play this Cornerstone build? Do you want to go to the Toadstool approach we saw Liam win Pittsburgh with? Do you want to play the Darmanitan? Do you want to just kind of play the Crustle? Like, there's so many different ideas you can make with Zoroark, but Zoroark seems like a very powerful archetype right now, in my opinion. We got a Goldengo in top 4. This one went back to the Energy Surge Pro approach and the Scizors. This one just kind of went back to the older way that we've been seeing Dengo being played. Not playing the rocks, opted for the baby Dengo and the Scizor. It's got the Monkey Dory in there. The Scizor could be good in the mirror. If you can make a one-prize board in the mirror match, you could get a lot of value out of using Scizor. Has Lavencia in there. It's like this deck will just naturally be better against Guardy Jelly. Obviously, because you have the Lavencia, the Scizor, you just kind of have the more normal approach to the Dengo deck. But, I mean, this build is still pretty good. I mean, you still get ESP, which is nice. Like, you're not playing the rocks. You don't have as many cool board states you can make and the aggressiveness, but you do get to be a bit more, like, I guess more consistent and more powerful. Now, there's Zard here. Zard Pidgeot with a Kangaskhan. So, Mega Kangaskhan is an interesting inclusion. I guess it just is there to draw cards. I guess you can attack with it, but I don't know. I'm not really sure what the Kangaskhan's doing in the deck. There's no Latias in here. You do have the Turo and the Balloon, I guess, but that doesn't really move it. It's an interesting inclusion. Mega Kangaskhan and Charizard is interesting. I'm not sure, but I mean, it was able to do well in this deck, maybe. So this is another Charizard. No Dusknoir, though, in this one. But yeah, cool stuff. We had a Dusknoir Dragapult in the top 8. So one had an Iron Bundle in it. Once again, yeah, playing 4 Lily, 2 Candy. The Lilies definitely helps out the deck. Another Dengo here. This one is also playing the rocks with the Trolley. The Trolley's been the most common ace-spec we've been seeing in the Goldengo Soul Rock deck. Just turn 1 Arven, get out your rocks, set up really quickly, and you're just kind of off to the races. You're drawing a bunch of cards, and you're making a one-prize board state, which is pretty good. So yeah, Trolley Dengo. Got to play the baby Genesect again, folks. Another Guardy here with the Fluttermane and the Drifloon in the deck here. Has the Screamtail. Yeah, it's got all the stuff. Got 2 Lilies in there, 2 Research. I like the 2-2 split, because the Research is still a good card in Guardy. Like I said, being able to discard energy for Guardy is like pretty good still, man. Like, having it for the Guardy Vortex, nice. We had a Lucario in top 8 here. So, Lucario's cool. I think the deck is strong in theory, and I think this deck will still have decent results while Gardevoir exists. But, like, that's the thing. This deck is held back pretty badly by Gardevoir's popularity and success. It's still pretty good, though. I mean, its power level is really high. It can do a lot of damage. You get the Harayamas, you get like built-in Gust, you get a good draw engine, you get one-prize attackers with Zoroark, Lunatone. Like, everything for this deck to be good is there. It just can't quite get there. It's really held back by Gardevoir, but not surprised to see one make it into the top 8. It's still a powerful archetype, nonetheless. Got a couple Grab Mounds in there to do more damage against stage 2s. The Max Belt's the ace spec, just damage and just consistency. So, looking pretty good. All right, we move on to the Mega Ditto tournament. Won by Raging Bolt. Another deck that I don't really think is going anywhere. It doesn't gain any new cards, so I don't think. Yeah, there's no new cards in this deck from the brand new set. But yeah, Raging Bolt, I mean, still good. It also is decent into Mega decks. Like, all those high HP decks kind of get bodied by Raging Bolt because you can use Bellowing Thunder to knock out stuff like the Lucarios and the Garchomps and the Venusaurs. Was able to beat a Charizard deck in the finals here. There's another Charizard Pidgeot deck with the Monkey Dories and the Psyduck in here, the Max Belt and the 4 Lilies. So yeah, this still looks like a decent Charizard build. I don't know if like the Dusknoir build is still better though, because like I thought the Monkey Dory build was better going into Worlds, and then we saw like the Dusknoir variant of Charizard really pop off. So not too sure on that, but yeah, Charizard's still good right now. I think it does get a big upgrade with this set. Does it beat Gardevoir though is the question. The main issue with Charizard against Guardy is they have to worry about Gardevoir being able to use Mew in that matchup. All right, we got a Sarah Legend top 4 here. This one does have the Brilliant Blender in the deck, as opposed to Legacy Energy. Then 4 Carmine, 2 Bossman Briar. No research or anything, just opted for 4 Carmine for the draw. I mean, you have the rocks, obviously, to draw cards too, so that's interesting. Just has a lot more energy in the deck, though. It's playing 20 energy in there, so you're really able to do a lot of damage with Sarah Ledge. A couple Guardy Jellies here in the top 8. Once again, it's got the double Lily in there to research. The name Bend Over, that's crazy. Then we got another Guardy Jelly here. Once again, playing the 2 Lily 2 research. Has some Mystery Garden in the deck also. Yeah, no, Guardy Jelly still might be the best way to play Gardevoir right now, in all honesty. But it seems good. Then we got another Guardy, obviously in top 8, broken deck. Oh, it's another Gardevoir Jellicent deck. This one had the Mega Gardevoir in the deck. I mean, Mega Gardevoir is still worth trying out. You can still do a lot of cool things with Mega Gardevoir, right? It's a really good late-game attacker. If your opponent literally just can't take a prize, it's like Mega Gardevoir usually will just end the game, basically, right? You either end the game with a big attack like Drifloon, or you put into play and you'd be like, oh, if you cannot answer Mega Gardevoir this turn, I just win the game in 2 turns. So that's essentially what the Mega Gardevoir does. I have a Ho-Oh Armor Rouge in top 8. I definitely want to revisit this deck. It does gain some new upgrades. Lily's Determination is a nice supporter for the deck. Gives you a little bit more consistency and draw without having to lose all your resources. And you can play stuff like the new Mega Kangaskhan, which this one doesn't even have the Mega Kangaskhan. Just opted for the 4 Lily. But yeah, Ho-Oh Armor Rouge still is a nice deck. I like this deck a lot. It's still really cool and fun to play. Definitely excited to hopefully try it out again. Another Zard in top 8. All right, this one does have the Dusknoirs in it, which I still like. It's got the Dusknoir, the Briar, which I still think is a really good way to play Charizard. Over the Monkey Dory build. You can still maybe just fit a Monkey Dory in here if you want. But yeah, Dusknoir Charizard looking nice still. Still a good deck. Charizard, I think it stocks her way up. This one doesn't have a Psyduck in it, though, which I still maybe would consider playing Psyduck, but it still seems good nonetheless. We got the Redacted tournament here, won by Grimmsnarl. This deck also gets a consistency boost with Lily's Determination, because now the deck has another draw supporter that allows the deck to set up a lot more easily without having to like use research and discard resources. Lily's just an overall better card for a deck like this. Also, the new Yveltal is really good in Grimm. Grimm definitely looks like a decent deck right now in this format. And this build has the Taskiri, the Bear. It's got the 4 Lily in there, 1 Devo. Yeah, pretty normal stuff. But yeah, you do have the Yveltal. Was able to beat a Sarah Ledge in the finals here. It's a Sarah Ledge with the Rocks. Legacy Energy also being the A-Spec in this build. And I guess Legacy does have some value in the deck with Sarah Ledge. I guess there is some merit to the Legacy over the Brilliant Blender. Had a Gardevoir in top 4 with the Mega Gardevoir once again popping up, showing that Mega Gardevoir is just really good in the deck. Has Drifloon in there. There's a lot of like big nuke attackers with Drifloon, Screamtail, and Mega Guardy. Makes sense. And had 2 Mystery Garden in there for more draw. We had a Pidgeot control deck in top 4. It's a deck that, I mean, control's good, and I mean, I like the idea of Psyduck in the deck now, because now you can like beat Poltnor a bit more easily. Because like that was one of the things with Pidgeot control before, was like it didn't really have a good matchup into Poltnor. It had an awful Poltnor matchup, nearly unwinnable. But now we have Psyduck in the deck, so now you can actually beat Poltnor a little bit more easily. So that's really cool. So yeah, I like Pidgeot control right now. It looks like it's actually like a decent deck in our format. We'll have to see on that one. Doesn't seem bad. If somebody can make a good control 60, I think Psyduck really does help the deck a lot. And like even against Gardevoir is like not even that bad if you know your lines. Another Jellicent Gardevoir in top 8. 4 Lily, 4 Iono, no research in that build. Just have the Mystery Garden in there. Also, 4 more draw. We had a Ho-Oh Macargo deck in top 8. That's cool. It's got Mega Kangaskhan. I like it. More draw. I guess like any like big basic deck that relies heavily on Latias EX gets to play the Mega Kangaskhan for the extra draw, which is nice. This seems like decent. It's like a little 1-prize deck. It's cool. It's a nice little 1-prizer deck. And being a fire deck doesn't hurt either against Goldengo. Speaking of which, got another Zoroark Goldengo here in top 8, playing the Precious Trolley. It's got the Vitality Band, Cypher Maniac. Yeah, nothing too crazy. It's got the Iron Bundle in there, probably to help a little bit more against the Jellicent deck. Again, that's like my one turnoff with this deck is like, seems a bit worse than a Gardevoir Jellicent, because you're not playing Levincey anymore. So it's a little bit more sketchier for sure. But, you know, it's nice. And then we have another Guardy Jelly here in top 8. Playing no Lily. No Mystery Garden, no new cards whatsoever, actually. Just kind of the old approach to it, which is pretty crazy. But, yeah, that was that tournament. Next up, we got the Tournament of Doom Regional Championships here. So this one was an even bigger tournament. This had like 300 players in it, so obviously this one is going to have a bigger result. It was won by Gardevoir Jellicent, winning the tournament with the 4 Lilies in there, no research, no Mystery Garden, just opted for the Lily's Determination for the consistency, showing that Guardy Jelly is still good. Yeah, won the entire tournament here. Again, this was like a giant tournament. It was 300 players. It was able to beat Grimm in the finals, which you'd think is favored for Grimm, obviously. Grimm, Dark beats Psychic. Nope. Gardevoir still beats Grimmsnarl sometimes. This Grimmsnarl build also playing the new Lily, and then had the new Yveltal in there too. It's got Shaman, the Tassagiri, stuff like that. Yeah, Grimm looking good. Lost to Gardevoir Jellicent though, which is crazy. I mean, I guess TM Devo and stuff, item lock can do a lot of work. It looks like we had a normal like Frostlass Budu deck here in the top 4. That's really cool. Not even playing any new cards, doesn't look like. No Lilith's Determination, which you'd think is a pretty good card to have in the Frostlass Monkey Dory deck, but didn't even opt to play Lilith's Determination. Just kept it simple with Budu, Maractus, Bear, 3/3 Frostlass. Not even playing the brand new Evil Tall in the deck is quite crazy. So very interesting to see this deck do so well for sure. We had a Crustle in top 4 also. Just straight Crustle Cornerstone. Doesn't look like there's any new cards in there. Would this deck gain Lilith's Determination? Doesn't seem like a bad card for the deck to draw more cards. I don't hate it, but another Crustle doing well. Yeah, Crustle's good. I mean, it's good in online tournaments for sure. We had a Sarah Legend top 8 with the Rocks, also playing the Legacy Energy. So yeah, just another Sarah Ledge deck playing Legacy. I mean, it looks like the Sarah Ledge, like, at least the 60 has been almost, like, figured out, which is interesting. We're just kind of playing, like, similar lists with the Legacy Energy and stuff. No Blender. Another Dengo here in top 8. This one was also playing the Zoroark Lunatone. Had the Precious Trolley in there to set up your board. 12 energy. I don't hate 12 energy in this build. I feel like it's a bit better because you're not playing Levencia and stuff, so I don't hate the idea of having 12 energy in the Zoroark Lunatone approach to Dengo. Another Frostlass Monkey Dory deck made top 8 here. This one had Tinglu. So the idea of Tinglu in this deck is like your spread deck. So you can put Tinglu in the active against like Gardevoir, and then you can spread a bunch of damage, and you also shut off Monkey Dory. So the idea is use Tinglu with Frostlass to stop Monkey Dory's ability from working, and then Tinglu just kind of makes it so they just can't use their monkey to heal their board, and they just have to sit there while you spam monkey and Frostlass against them. The Tinglu is really funny, actually. It's a really cool innovation in the Frostlass Monkey Dory deck. Definitely something that I want to try out in the future when I do another video on a Frostlass deck. I just did one on Frostlass with Evil Tall. But yeah, this it looks really funny. It's got the 4 Lily in there, the Evil Tall. I really like this build. Specifically, looks really nice. And again, the Tinglu is pretty cool because you can do a lot of really funny things with its ability and the spread damage. We had another Sarah Legend top 8. Once again, opting to play Legacy Energy as a spec. So maybe this is just the best way to play Sarah Ledge, just play with Legacy Energy. But there you go. That was the first weekend here of online tourneys. Once this clicks off, there we go. The first weekend of online tourneys wrapped up. So things to take away. Zoroark, Lunatone are looking like an insane draw engine. Gardevoir still just as good as ever. Charizard, Zoroark, Dark decks in general starting to like do a little bit better. We did see one Lucario deck make top 8. I'm sure we'll see more Lucario do well later on. People are just testing too much Guardy right now. Again, you just can't really beat a room full of Gardevoirs with that deck. But the meta's looking cool. We are seeing some more fighting types get a lot stronger. Again, Premium Power Pro making Garchomp pretty good. The Lunatone Zoroark engine also looking good. So fighting types getting a big boost in consistency and play. Gardevoir still dominating. These like big stage 1 energy type decks like Goldango and Sarah Ledge doing really good because of Zoroark and Lunatone. Very interesting meta developments here. I still think we're going to see stuff like Guardian Dragapult still continue to do well. We'll have to see if there's going to be any more side decks. I'm going to do another one of these videos next week leading up to Milwaukee Regionals. But yeah, interesting results nonetheless. Let me know what you think of the Mega Evolution meta. Are you enjoying the Mega Evolution meta? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be interested to hear. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a link to Play.Limits down below if you want to go play in any online tournaments for yourself. Hey, maybe you'll make one of these videos next time. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on another video very soon here on the second channel. Bye-bye.